Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic boss fights of the 2020s so far. As we'll be discussing critical plot moments, a spoiler warning is in effect.
The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Number 10. Laxasia the Complete, Lies of P.
Oh, Simon.
Souls-like games are known for their brutally difficult yet well-designed boss fights, as you'll see later on this list, and Lies of P is no different. Laxasia the Complete, formerly Alchemist Adriana, is a servant of the main antagonist Simon Manus, having been reborn through the elixir as the first whole being, hence her name. Donning an enormous sword and sick-looking armor, Laxasia is a terrible force to be reckoned with.
Your sword, Laxasia, swears to protect this tower.
She's heavily weak to acid attacks and employs a devastating electric blitz that encompasses much of the arena during her second phase. Once you defeat her, you're home free to defeat Simon and finish the game.
Oh, Sir Simon, only you with the word.
Number 9. Destroyer Charadrius, Metaphor Refantasio.
Let's go then! This is our final battle!
At this point, we all know the legacy Persona 5 has had on the JRPG genre and the industry as a whole, so when Atlus and Studio Zero unveiled Metaphor Refantasio, a new IP set in a fantasy world, expectations were through the roof. And boy did they deliver. The menus and turn-based combat are flashy and stylish as hell, and of course, the music is amazing.
Now let's see what manner of story you'll weave.
This, along with some of the greatest boss fights Atlus has designed, makes Metaphor one of 2024's best games. Specifically, the final fight against main antagonist Luis Guyaburn has already reached iconic status. The clever mechanic of targeting a specific mask with the required attack type makes it crucial for the player to understand the ins and outs of the battle, and the multi-phased battles with narrative moments layered in will live in our heads rent-free for years to come. Number 8. Raphael, Baldur's Gate 3.
Hope. It always burns you in the end, little mouse. Now, down comes the claw.
The fight against Raphael in the House of Hope is one of the most fun and rewarding in the game. Not only do you take on his Cambion form during the fight, but he has a backup in Nurgir, Corilla, and 6 generic vengeful Cambions. Watch out for the soul pillars strewn about the map, as Raphael will use them to heal himself and cast spells. If you've made the right decisions throughout the game, you'll be able to recruit Hope and Nurgir to your party, but these can be easily missed.
It's absolutely preposterous that any of us are alive. Maybe we're not.
Number 7. Erlang Shen, Black Myth Wukong. 2024's Black Myth Wukong is one of a handful of action games that came out that year and had no shortage of epic and well-designed bosses. The fight with Erlang Shen is among the best. You can fight him at Mount Mai after completing Erlang, the Sacred Divinity's questline, and boy are you in for a fight.
不如随我先回天上大醉3天，再大战300回合。
His first phase is his human form, and he's extremely quick and demands you time your dodges perfectly. In the back half of the fight, he'll transform into a big ol' anthropomorphic hairy demon thing. He's much slower here, but his strikes are heavy, making him one of the most formidable fights of 2024. Number 6. Hades. Hades.
It is just me indeed. However, that should be more than necessary here. No holding back this time, Zacharias. Are you ready?
The roguelike phenomenon Hades is a masterclass in game design. The progression, the combat, the customization, the UI, the acting, all of it. The icing on the proverbial cake here is the battle at the end of each run against the titular god of the underworld, Hades. He unpredictably teleports around the arena, shooting projectiles or dashing at you immediately, hardly leaving an ample dodge window open. It'll likely take you upwards of 10 runs to finally get to this point through permanent upgrades and learning the mechanics, but finishing your first Hades run is an accomplishment that feels incredible every time. Now let's just do one more run.
No.
Number 5. Lord Shimura, Ghost of Tsushima.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Ghost of Tsushima often poses this question to the player throughout the game. Is tradition more important than conflicting values for the sake of the future? This is fully present in the final battle against protagonist Jin Sakai's uncle, Lord Shimura, at the end of the game. Taking place at the beautiful backdrop of Jin's childhood home, the fight is an over-the-shoulder duel you'd be familiar with from throughout the game. Upon defeating Lord Shimura, players get to choose one of two options. Kill your uncle, honoring his tradition and giving him the death he wants, or spare his life in the name of progress, bringing shame on his values.
I have no honor. But I will not kill my family.
Number 4. Thor, God of War Ragnarok.
That was for Baldur.
After the teaser at the end of 2018's God of War, we couldn't wait to take on Thor. You encounter the Norse God of Thunder in 2022's God of War Ragnarok twice, and each encounter is as awesome as the other. The first instance sees Kratos get absolutely wrecked, teasing the player with the game over screen before Thor says he isn't finished with you yet and brings you back.
Oh no. I say when we're done.
The second fight, taking place on Asgard, pits the two deities against each other once more, but this time, Thor's daughter Thrud is on your side. Luckily, Kratos is much more decked out in weapons and armor compared to the beginning of the game, so you should have no problem withstanding his brutal lightning attacks. Number 3. Bahamut, Final Fantasy 16. (2023's Final Fantasy 16 is filled to the brim with epic, insane boss battles, but the one that clearly takes the cake here is the fight against Bahamut. After a tense and emotional scene with protagonist Clive's awful mother, the battle against the Warden of Light kicks off in dramatic fashion. The kaiju-esque battle with Ifrit and Phoenix against Bahamut perfectly blends the cinematic over-the-top combat mechanics with story beats that will keep you on the edge of your seat the entire time. Part of this fight has you all the way up into space. We're honestly not sure what more we can say to convince you. Number 2. Ganondorf, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's bosses are a nice change of pace from Breath of the Wild's generic Ganon Blights. The bosses in this 2023 sequel are more traditionally designed in both appearance and mechanics, and are some of the most memorable the series has seen to date. Tears of the Kingdom's climax sees you face off against the Demon King Ganondorf, marking his long overdue return since 2006's Twilight Princess. As usual, the fight starts off as a mano-a-mano sword fight between him and Link, trading blows and dodging his attacks through multiple phases, eventually leading to taking on Ganondorf's new form, the Demon Dragon. Jumping between Zelda and Ganondorf's dragon forms, soaring high above the skies of Hyrule, this is one of the most epic boss fights of this decade. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Malenia, Blade of Miquella, Elden Ring. From Software's masterpiece Elden Ring took the familiar, brutally difficult Souls-like gameplay and dropped it into an open world, solidifying it as one of the greatest games ever made. The encounter with Malenia, Blade of Miquella is its most formidable challenge and the best boss fight of the 2020 so far, and will likely stay at the top of most gamers' lists for years to come. The fight happens over 2 phases, with the first being her armored appearance we've grown familiar with. The second phase sees Malenia become the goddess of rot, shedding her armor and growing eldritch wings. Make sure your health is above 80% during this phase, as once she gets you into her relentless attack combo, you'll be down before you know it. What are some of your favorite bosses of the 2020 so far? Let us know in the comments below.
I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.